Hello everyone, we are Group 8. My name is Uyoyoghene. My teammates are Sylvia and Tin. Today we'll be presenting a research study titled International Entrepreneurship Opportunity, Recognition and Prioritization in the Industrial Sector of Kish Free Zone, a multi-layer decision-making approach. This study explore how business can identify and prioritize international opportunity using a structured decision-making model, particularly in free trade zone like Kish Island in Iran. For the second part of our presentation, we will connect the findings to our chosen Canadian company, Magna International, a global automotive manufacturer. Here's a brief introduction to Kish Free Zone and the study to begin. Kish Free Zone is an island located in the Persian Gulf off the southern coast of Iran. It's a special economic area created by the Iranian government to attract foreign investors and boost international trade. What makes Kish appealing is its flexible business environment. Unlike mainland Iran, it allows full foreign ownership, offers tax exemption for up to 15 years, and has a simplified rules for starting and running a business. Foreigners can even enter without a visa, which makes it easier to explore business opportunities there. Because of this benefit, many entrepreneurs see Kish as a low-risk entry point for doing business in the region. But even with these advantages, investors still need to carefully decide which opportunities to focus on, and that's the core of the study. The research look at how businesses can use structured decision-making tools to recognize and rank international opportunities in places like Kish. Instead of relying on instinct or guesswork, the study promotes a data-driven approach to help entrepreneurs make smarter, more strategic choices when entering foreign markets. Now, let's look at how the study defines entrepreneurial opportunities. The paper emphasizes that opportunities are not simply lying around waiting to be discovered. They are often created through the entrepreneur's ideas, actions, and how they respond to changing market conditions. The study outlined four main types of opportunities. First, opportunities for new goods and services, which comes from understanding customer needs, market gaps, and what competitors are offering. Second, opportunities related to raw materials and resources, which are shaped by economic factors, government policies, and availability of input in certain regions like Kish. Third, innovative organizational method, which involves new ways of running a business or delivering value, often driven by changes in technology or customer behavior. And fourth, market expansion and trade opportunity, which depends on how well entrepreneurs can access information, spot new trend, and reach new customer groups locally or internationally. Together, these categories shows that opportunity recognition is an active strategic process. It's about being aware, staying informed, and taking initiative to turn ideas into valuable business ventures. Next, the study uses decision-making model called the Analytic Network Process (ANP) to rank business opportunity based on what matters most for economic success. The model considers both financial and social impact, helping entrepreneurs and policymakers choose the most valuable opportunities. The top four priorities identified by the study are profitability, which ranks highest. It measures how much return on investment the opportunity can bring, because without strong profit, the ventures may not be sustainable. In second place, we have growth speed, which refers to how quickly the opportunity can scale, as faster growth often means quicker impact and stronger market presence. Third place, we have the service provision, which considers whether the opportunity has value to public services or infrastructure like health, transport, or communication system. And in fourth place is job creation. This looks at how many employment opportunities the venture can generate, which is important for supporting the local economies. Now, this priority shows that good business opportunities should bring both financial return and social benefits, especially in zones like Kish. The study also takes a closer look at 12 specific sub-areas that support entrepreneurship. These are more detailed elements that influence the success of business venture in zones like Kish. The researcher used the analytic network process to rank these sub-areas based on how much they contribute to profitable and sustainable opportunities. Now, let's begin with the top three. Access to financial resources was ranked as the most critical. For entrepreneurs, funding is essential, whether it's startup capital, loan, or investment. Having access to finance helps turn ideas into actions and ensures smoother operations and growth. Two, high quality of services. These include things like healthcare, education, utilities, and communication. A strong service environment not only support businesses but also improve the living condition of workers that and their families, making it easier to attract talent. Three, creation of new commercial hubs and clusters. These are business zones like shopping center, tech park, or shared industrial space where business can work closely together. Cluster boost innovation, reduce cost, and help build a stronger local economy. Now, moving to the mid-level sub-areas, which are important but not as urgent as the top three. These include job security. A stable workforce leads to better productivity and lower employee turnover. Medical service, reliable health care support a healthy workforce, which helps reduce absenteeism. Three, utilities, consistent electricity, water, and internet access are essential for daily business operation. Lastly, the lower priority, still important but less urgent, includes custom and transportation system, which support trade and logistics. Two, reducing job desertion, which focus on keeping employees engaged. Three, marketing and promotion, which help businesses grow their customer base. Overall, the breakdown helps decision makers focus on what matters most by prioritizing the strongest sub areas, especially when resources are limited. Regions like Kish can build a solid foundation for sustainable entrepreneurship.
The final part of this study focuses on identifying the most promising sector for entrepreneurship in Kish-free zone. Using the same decision-making model, the researchers ranked this sector based on the key criteria we have already discussed, including profitability, growth speed, service contribution, and job creation. Here are the top three sectors highlighted in the study. Tourism. This sector ranks number one, and for good reason. Kish Island already has a strong foundation in tourism. Thanks to its location, visa-free access for many countries, and growing investments in hotels, resorts, and recreational spaces. Tourism brings in foreign spending, boosts local businesses, and helps develop related services like transport, food, and entertainment. It also creates a large number of jobs, making it both profitable and socially beneficial. 2. Commerce. Ranked second, commerce benefits directly from Kish-free zone status. This zone allows duty-free imports and exports, attracting both local and international retailers and traders. Businesses can sell goods more competitively due to lower tariff and simplified custom. This makes Kish a strategic location for building retail hubs, wholesale distribution, and regional trading centers. Sea transportation. Coming in at third, this sector is crucial because of Kish position along major trade routes in the Persian Gulf. Its port infrastructure supports international logistics, connecting traders and manufacturers to global markets. Investing in sea transport not only boosts trade efficiency, but also supports other sectors like commerce and tourism by improving supply chain reliability. We picked Magna International as our Canadian multinational enterprise to apply the article's finding. Magna International is a Canadian vehicle parts manufacturer for automakers. Magna International is headquartered in Ontario, but pursues global standardization strategy and therefore possesses enormous and established global footprints. The Canadian MNE operates in 5 continents, 28 countries, and owns 314 manufacturing operations and 106 product development, engineering, and sales centers. Magna runs their manufacturing plants in major powerhouses. Outside Canada, Magna International runs 100 manufacturing operations in Europe, 59 manufacturing operations in US, 69 in China, 12 in India, 7 in Brazil, and 3 in Argentina. In our application, we will show how Canadian government will turn the Vancouver Island their own Kish free zone and how Magna International can invest in this island using the article's findings. As per the article's findings, tourism and commerce are the most prioritized sectors that are filled with the most entrepreneurial opportunities. Hence, Magna International could leverage this tourism and commerce opportunity in the Vancouver Island. Venturing in both these sectors would be considered transnational strategy, as Magna both explores localized differentiation and global standardization opportunities simultaneously. For tourism, Magna should launch electric shuttle services and self-driving electric cab services. Even though Magna is neither a tourism nor transportation company, it is globally recognized. Superior electric vehicles components would help create seamless, distinctive, carbon-free, and elegant transportation, offering and giving Magna an extremely differentiated competitive edge in the Vancouver Island that no other local transportation rival can match. Electric shuttle buses transport passengers from the airport to hotels or vice versa, while a self-driving cab would provide individual passengers with a more personalized travel experience in touring the island. Additionally, Vancouver Island Place has a strategic geographical location located in the opens up Canada to Asia. For commerce, hence, Magna can launch a product distribution center in Vancouver Island, receiving complete parts from the manufacturing operation in domestic Canada, stores, and then distributing the others to markets in Asia, such as China, South Korea, and Japan. Such facilitates connective points in Magna's supply chain, would upscale the company's order fulfillment capacity, capture greater market shares in Asia, and enhance the company's global footprint.
Profit and growth as the most highly sought criteria for entrepreneurial opportunities as per the article's findings. Having a no custom status just like that of the Kish-free zone of Iran, Vancouver Island would act as a pivotal point for Magna to implement strategic hedging against the ongoing tariff threat of Trump and drive their company toward lucrative profit and expansive growth. Amid the current ongoing threat of tariffs slapped by the US against Canadian exports, both the revenue and capitalization market value of Magna are expected to deteriorate. Hence, if the Canadian government lifts custom barriers for goods moving in and out of Vancouver Island, Magna International would be able to pivot away from the US market and use Vancouver Island as a strategic connection point to enrich markets in Asia. That way, Magna can certainly grow their profit and cancel out the profit losing impact of the tariff, as no custom or transit barriers exist and Vancouver Island connects Canada to Asia. A product distribution center would really generate a smooth and financially viable flow of products between the manufacturing operation in Canada and markets in Asia, optimizing cost savings and enhancing operational efficiency for Magna. Additionally, the island receives a whopping 3 million visitors annually. Potential profit earned from running electric shuttle bus and self-driving electric cab services would be humongous. See, Magna already has the edge of electric vehicle component capability. The electric tourism transportation business in Vancouver Island would be likely to hit high profit margin, and limit is the sky is what can be said about the growth potential for Magna. With the profit distribution center in the Vancouver Island, the vehicle production levels in China, a big chunk of Magna's Asian markets are on the rise. Hence, the Vancouver Island as a strategic connection point in Magna's global supply chain would accelerate the growth of Magna's footprint in Asia. The article also reveals that the most appreciated sub-criteria are financial resources, quality of services, and new collections. Here is how the Canadian government could leverage these sub-criteria for Magna to invest long-term in Vancouver Island. First, the Canadian government should incentivize investment in the island with lucrative financial resources. The financial resources can come in the form of government subsidies and non-existence of trade barriers. The government should provide humongous subsidies and loans for projects in high demand industries like tourism and commerce, and imposes no trade barriers to incentivize foreign investment. This trade barrier-free zone, coupled with incentivizing resources, would liberalize trade, attract many more tourists and investors to the island, and enable a highly efficient and cost-saving distribution center that would accelerate the fulfillment of orders from Canada to Asia. The Canadian government should also ensure top-notch quality of services in the island. Tourists come to the island for once-of-a-kind experience. Magna International needs to be directed through both incentives and collaboration toward deploying their most superior resources in electric vehicle part manufacturing to offer electric shuttle bus and self-driving cab services that would successfully capture the need for differentiated pleasure and excellent quality. And in return, the Canadian government should minimize trade limiting laws and regulation that would otherwise apply to the other parts of Canada, such as taxes and regulatory surcharges and fees. Then Vancouver Island can become a highly developed tourism market in which Magna can capture the high profit margin in the prioritized tourism sector. The Canadian government should also allocate greater resources like manpower, finance, material, energy, and commodities to Vancouver Island so that the island can achieve greater capacity for construction of new collections comprised of recreational and commercial complexes. This way, the island's infrastructure and resources enable construction of electric shuttle bus and self-driving electric cab facilities, which provides viable electric transportation offering for tourists. Among the remaining sub-criteria, the Canadian government should eliminate custom transportation barriers in Vancouver Island to prioritize entrepreneurial opportunities. This would lead to advanced logistics, and that would enable development of a highly efficient and fully automated product distribution center for Magna. This would aid Magna in leveraging the island as a strategic point that strengthens the efficiency in global product distribution from Canada to Asia. To sum it up, Vancouver Island, if having regulations and trade barriers lifted to prioritize tourism and commerce, just like the Kish free zone, would be a complementary access to Magna International, a key piece that the Canadian M&E can leverage to pursue their transnational strategy through tourism-focused localization and product distribution center-based globalization. With profit and growth as key interest in entrepreneurship, the island is a pivotal point that Magna can tap into to pivot away from the tariff threat to gear its global operation toward a commerce thriving region and tariff-free zone for profit and growth maximization. The Canadian government should commit significant financial resources and superior quality of service to target differentiation, focus consumer needs, and facilitate supportive conditions for construction of needed facilities. The custom transportation with no trade barriers would enable development of a highly efficient and fully automated product distribution center for Magna, enhancing their company's global supply chain network. Thank you everyone for listening.